Amy.
Hi. I need to set up this a bit better because like whenever we start, I have to press run on the computer and I have to also press record on the visual as well. But for some reason, every time I'm here, I set up a mini obstacle course. And so it feels like I'm like, why? I've done it. I've done it like subconsciously. And I'm like, do I do this deliberately just to like fuck with me? Like my brain's like, you fuckhead, you can't even like press play properly. Anyway, you have to have a look at YouTube. Maybe you'll be able to see me because the start of the video recording is me like anyway, it's not that bad, but like it is in a small room. Anyway.
In a small room, yeah. There's definitely a few obstacles. And at least you didn't chip your tooth this time.
So aggressive to get on there. It's like, yes, no, and my tooth is fine. Everything is fine. Today's question is, why do we settle for good enough?
Why do we settle for good enough?
Why do we settle for good enough? Have a bit of a think about that while we're doing our show and tell. And we've got Steph. She's gonna be first up here. So I'm just getting the timer ready.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Start.
I feel like it's been a little bit tricky to think about my show and tells.
We're 3 F's in, and
I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do? But I will say, I haven't said this to you, but my show and tell today is my new glasses.
Oh yes,
I am obsessed with my new glasses.
they're so cute.
I love them. So my inspiration for my glasses, I'm in my Dana Scully era. I have my orange hair. I have my Dana Scully glasses, and I'm still on my hunt for extraterrestrials.
If you guys are listening.
But I think more than my glasses, I feel like I am hit my sweet spot of feeling like I'm getting back to be myself.
I love that.
I feel like my look is starting to reflect who I am now. And so these glasses have just like been awesome. And I think we do quite a lot of Zooms with work now. And when I first started, I was like, who the fuck is that? Like who, because I can see myself and it's really confronting. Now I'm like, there you are.
Aww.
There she is.
Oh God, that's such a like.
Oh my God, oh my God.
That's really like incredible. I love that, and I feel like I've seen you find yourself twice. I feel like now, like in 2 really significant ones where you come and worked with me after like coming out of baby stage, and like watching you find your next version then, and then this progress has just been, and I said to you when we come in today, like, has your hair given you like the feeling that you are looking for? And you were like, yeah,
it really has. Like, I think it's just like, and it's interesting, like not even like it's giving me a feeling of achievement because orange hair is really hard to upkeep. And so, like when I wash my hair now, it's not like just getting in the shower. Like I wasn't even conditioning my hair before. Like I was literally just shampooing and getting out and letting it dry. Whereas now, like I have to shampoo it and I have to put the color treatment thing in there, the orange one. And then because that color treatment is pretty pigmented, like you have to dry your hair after you get out of the shower because otherwise your t-shirt's going to be orange. And so it's like forcing me to like give a fuck.
yeah.
Like it's really forcing me to be like, just fucking do your hair. Like, and even though I'm in my tracky pants all the time now.
Love that for you though.
Oh, seriously, I'm still like, I'm living my best life.
You wearing your tracky pants every day, but your hair's looking fucking banging.
It is looking banging. And yeah, I just think that it's been a really nice, and I guess it's going to come into the conversation today, but it's really nice to have your outsides feel like they're not stuck in a bad time. Like I follow this girl on Instagram and she's like every day she wears like non-depressive clothes, so she shows what she used to wear when she was in a really bad spot, and it was, you know, black trackies and a black t-shirt. And
Has she got pink hair?
yes.
I love her.
Isn't she cool?
Yes.
And like I love her outfits, and like a lot of them I can see like she has the same pair of pants but in 5 different colors.
Yeah.
And even though it's the complete opposite from me, like I've gone from wearing like office clothes and, you know, like all of that, I now have my 5 pairs of tracksuit pants that I wear daily. I have all my fucking typical hoodies that I just wear daily. And like, yeah, I feel like it might on the outside look like, fuck, she doesn't like, you know, doesn't get ever trackies now, but it's me feeling so good.
I think you have you have a really great style.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Of all the, like, you know, even of, you know, during the like different eras, I feel like you have a really good style. It's like uniquely you too. I feel like I don't know, anyone else agree with that? I feel like Leah maybe has mentioned it before as well. Like you have a you style.
Oh, that's
and
so nice.
it's really cool. Like you've got a cool style and it's like effortless.
Oh,
You're like, it's fucking trackies and hoodie.
effortless is no effort.
Effortless chic. But you do. Like I have always thought that.
Oh, that's really nice.
We're
of you to
talking
say.
about like the jumper that you had recently. I went on a deep, not my problem, not my problem, not my episode.
Oh, well, it is now.
I went on a fucking deep dive, and I was in there for hours last night, and I was searching for a particular Levi's jumper that I've seen you wear, and I was obsessed with, and I'm like, oh my God, like you do have a really cool fashion style.
Oh, that's really nice of you to say.
And I'm glad that you are now feeling like your hair now reflects it. Your glasses reflect it.
How cool are they?
They're so cute.
Aren't they cute?
Yeah. And your other ones that you got are nice too.
Yes, I do love those as well.
But I feel like it's really nice to see like that because you are like edgy and fun and like I feel like you reflects that now.
So nice of you to say.
That's true.
I love that.
Oh.
Anyway, your turn.
Okay. Cancel and 3, 2, 1, start. Okay, I also struggled with my third one, but probably not. I feel like I was like, oh my God, could it be this? But we had a really big family moment this week. And okay, so obviously when Andy and I have been together for 5 years.
Wow.
2021 we got together. And, you know, I if you know me personally and we've had these conversations, like I'm hyper aware that like from when other parents probably see our situation and they're in a loving, happy parental relationship or situation, you know, I understand the need for parents to have a fucking break. And I am also really aware that looking in from the outside, we get a fucking break every second weekend. As a new couple, we had the opportunity to connect with each other every second weekend without the kids. With the kids, yes, but also without the kids, which, you know, once you have kids, you know, like that's a difficult. If you had your kids full time, that would be really difficult to build that with a new person coming in if you also had your kids there full time because like there's no alone time for that. And in the past, Andy and I have taken advantage of the time when, you know, maybe the kids are at their dad's for the week and we've gone on little trips here and there, just the two of us. And when they were young, I didn't, you know, I was like, YOLO. Andy's been traveling a lot and I said to him, I feel like I need something to look forward to because I'm so wildly jealous of him going to the airport, driving solo, getting on a plane. I know it's work, Andy. Don't roll your eyes. But I'm still jealous.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget going out for lunch with Kat and Casper. And Andy was kind of like, you know, it's a bit of a drag like this. And Casper's like, yeah, it must be so hard like going and staying in a hotel and having like work functions where the alcohol and food is paid for. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. But I understand it's work and it's hard and he doesn't like being away from us and home and, you know, so there's swings and roundabouts, but I'm still wildly jealous that he gets to go on a plane. We decided we were going to do a bit of a trip and he was like, you know, maybe we should go to Bali, like just the two of us during the school holidays. And for the first time, sorry kids, but for the first time ever, I was like, I can't do that. it felt too bad. I felt too guilty. I couldn't imagine myself there without them.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, in the past when they're a bit younger, it's like, yeah, like, you know, I did
Well,
that.
I think that you can sort of come up with like, oh God, they still have to have naps. They still
Yeah,
need to,
yeah.
maybe not naps, but like, you
Yeah.
know, they've got too much stuff. They've got too
Yeah.
much, you know, you've got to really look at them all the time, you know, whereas now they're that bit older.
Yeah, and so we booked Bali, and with the kids, and also to celebrate a beautiful friend's like 40th. Like, I feel like it was, you know, a conversation that happened after a few too many drinks, and I literally messaged her the next day, like, if that was just a conversation that belongs there, I'm okay with that. But now's your chance to say that without any judgment or like ill feelings. I might just say it. That is not happening. And it was the opposite. So, you know, we're really excited. And yeah, it's a big kind of family moment for us. And it also comes with challenges. Like, obviously, we share parenting responsibilities. So, you know, there was... It's a weird realization that you have to get permission from someone, and, you know, depending on your relationship with that person, it might not be very easy, or, you know, there's a lot of anxiety around it, or, you know, even just the feeling of like, wow, I can't make that decision for myself and my children, that someone else is involved in that decision, that you might not want to be involved in the decision. So it's just a real interesting flow on of like things that have to kind of happen. But yeah, but we told the kids, and like Summer was literally screaming. Harvey's first question was, can we take Ruby? And I'm like, I don't think we're taking Ruby to Bali. And you know, he like, they're just fucking stoked. And I couldn't be happier. Like, I think it's just like core memory shit. Like, I didn't go on a plane until I was like 21. I didn't go on a plane. You know, the fact that like we've taken the kids on their first plane trip, and now we're taking the kids on their first overseas holiday. And I wanted to take, oh fuck, how long have I got? Oh fuck.
No, tell me.
Okay. I started telling Steph this on the way here, and then I was like, no, I'm going to stop because I don't want to tell you this. But the alarm's just gone, so I'm running in overtime.
Yeah.
But I took the kids to get their passport photos.
Yeah.
I've actually got this whole fucking story. So like, anyway, took the kids to get the passport photos, went to the post office, got the 2 forms, was reading the forms, and I was like, oh, Harvey, because you're 10, you're going to have to actually sign the form.
Oh.
And he was like, oh my God, no. And he's on the floor of the fucking post office going, oh, like my life's over. And the people in the line behind me are laughing, and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, Harvey, it's okay. And he's like, oh, I can't believe I've got to sign it. And I'm like, do you want to go to Bali or not? If you don't want to sign the form, then I'll leave you here. Like,
God, a
it was
10-year-old
so
gets
funny.
to sign.
Yes.
That's cool.
Summer was literally like, oh, thank God I don't have to. And I'm like, what do you think this is?
It's like your form asked if you were married.
That was another fucking weird thing. Okay, so I got the, I fucked up because I'm a dickhead and I cried. Not real tears, but like I sobbed with like no tears. Okay. With my head in my hands. Okay. I have Summer's birth certificate. I have my birth certificate. Now everything belongs in an awesome sack. Andy looks after it. Great. Got it out. Yep. Got Summer's, got mine. Don't have Harvey's. Went looking for it, but didn't waste too much time on it. Didn't, you know, beat myself up. I don't have Harvey's. I had it. I don't know where it is. Anyway, went online, did the whole like online ID check, whatever. Ordered it. Got to the end, paid for it, got the email summary, and it's like, thank you for ordering Summer May birth certificate. And I'm like, and I just put my head in my hands and was just like sobbing. And Andy's like, are you actually crying? And I'm like, I just ordered the wrong fucking certificate. What a dickhead.
Yeah.
So I went back online, ordered Harvey's, and I was like, I just spent $120 on birth certificates. I didn't need to.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought, fuck it.
No.
Anyway.
I feel like, you know, if that's I don't even think it's a mistake. If that's something that you're going to do, it's not that bad.
It's probably not a bad thing that I've got 2 of Summers either, because realistically, I can't be trusted with them. I should have multiples of everything. But anyway, that was mine.
Oh, that is so funny. God, so did he sign it? Does he have a signature?
Well, they were discussing it in the car.
Okay.
Summer has 2. But she said, I don't have like a legal one. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what they think signatures are like. I'm like, you're not signing your life away. But yeah, on the application for the birth certificate, I sent a screenshot to you because there was a really disturbing question. And I was going through it and it said, this is a child application. So there's adult applications and then there's children applications and they're different. So it's not just a weird crossover because the wording was very specific. It asked on Australian birth certificate applications for children, has the child been married? What?
Yeah. I don't like.
What?
Like, I'm trying to think of a circumstance where someone would have to tick yes. And maybe that's a silly, like, I don't know.
I was like kind of disgusted.
Well, yeah, like I don't understand. How old is a child? Is it till 16? 18.
I think it's 18.
17-year-olds get married? Maybe they're not talking about 5-year-olds.
I don't know.
Do 17-year-olds get married?
Are they allowed to?
I don't know.
Neither.
Probably with parents. Okay.
Probably back in the day. But I guess then you're like, you are actually, like when you order a birth certificate, like we're thinking about it because our children now. But like back in the day, maybe that question relates more, you know, because I feel like people did get married earlier.
Do you reckon?
I don't know. I feel like we're trying to justify it in our brains to make it not as bad. I don't know. But it was very confronting reading the question, has the child been married? Anyway, I got the ick.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
Anyway. I got the ick as well.
Today's question. Oh, footy's finished. Today's question was, why do we settle for good enough? And I thought that was a bit of like rage bait. I just think of Andy listening to these and he's like, what? Why do you settle for good enough, Amy? But we had more of a we had some more specific feelings around this and the question for it. But then, you know, obviously knowing us, it's going to go in all different directions. But where did it come from?
Well, it came from, so I had to go back to the GP. And like, it's interesting though, because I've already had this conversation on the podcast before around feeling like my medication was too much. And it was when I went down on my medication and I felt better.
Because you have a little bit of like your medication, obviously we're on different medication. Your medication is a little bit like it can be moved around. Yeah,
so I've got a little bit of control over finding my Goldilocks. So, you know, and especially, so my medication is for bipolar, and because bipolar fluctuates in a way where I guess outside influences can affect it. So big life changes, hormones, like the usual, right? So it's a mood stabilizer. And so sometimes when there's a lot happening, I'll need more. Sometimes when things are sort of going all right, you can bring it back down. And so I brought it back down for a little while, and then I was just feeling really rank. I was really starting to get a bit down in the head again. And like I recognize it. And so I can recognize.
Awareness is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, like I'm so self-aware that, and it's actually funny. I'll talk about it when I talk about my appointment. But yeah, I went to the GP and I was just like, look, like I'm at a stage now where I'm exhausted and not physically. Like it's exhausted in a way where I'm just like over myself. I'm like, come on. Like I went and got the diagnosis. What more do you want? Like I feel like I talk to my mental health. Like what else can I do for you? Like come on. Anyway, so I went to the GP and he was really, I was actually saying to Amy, I'm going to try and get him on here. If it's not a conflict of interest and he doesn't have to stop being my GP, I would love to have him on here. He's a great
He does sound
GP.
amazing.
He's a great GP and a great GP for people who are like us, I feel like. And not that he doesn't diagnose us or anything like that, but he's really good at facilitating what we need. Anyway, he said something really interesting to me because I was like, I've gone down on my medication and I was feeling good, but now I'm not. And, he was saying, you've had a lot going on at the moment. Like we had to say goodbye to my senior dog. And so we had like a bit of a family, a very emotional kind of time. And he's like, let's bring you back up again. And so that was that. So I'd gone up in my medication and this was a check to see how that was going. And it was really interesting because he spoke to me about how with some medications it works to begin with and then you end up having something called blunting. And so it's literally you just don't feel anything. Like it just gets to a stage where you just don't feel anything. And he goes, it could potentially be time that we try something new. And I'm like, what? And he really teased it out of me a bit because I'm like, no, because I'm getting up in the morning, like all of those things at the start of your diagnosis when you're like, this is what I want to know that I'm getting better. And mine was executive functioning and it happened quick. So I was able to get up out of bed in the morning. I was able to do all the things that from the outside makes me look like I've got my shit together. But, looking at it, my brain is still the same. But on the outside, it looks like it's effective. And so he actually gave me a referral back to my psychiatrist who originally gave me my diagnosis because he even said, I have a list of your diagnosis here because it was a layered diagnosis. There was shit on there that I didn't even pick up on because I was so focused on bipolar because I'm like, that's the glove. That's the glove that fits. That's the glove that fits. It was actually quite layered. And so he's like, potentially this medication at a lower dose is helping you with that. But all of these other things are making it
fighting for attention.
And so we're trying to then overcompensate with this medication to make those feel better, but the medication's actually not for those. So anyway, that's a roundabout way of saying it. But he said something to me that like fucking broke me. It actually broke my heart. He was like, we need to get you to a stage where you're not just existing. And I was like, I just stared at him and I'm like, oh my God, her nose is going. I'm too medicated.
I'm like that genie. It got me.
Yeah. And it's interesting because if you were to ask people, even people close to me, they'd be like, she's doing so much better. She's doing so much better. Like she's fucking showered. She's, she makes the bed in the morning.
God,
I know. She
fucking
goes.
Stop the bus.
She hasn't taken any time off work. She is unpacking the dishwasher. She is getting the kids off to school. She's present with the kids. She's and when I say present with the kids, she's sitting in the lounge room with them. And so I think it's a really hard sell when it's like I have to go back to the psychiatrist. When it's like, but everything's fine. Like you're doing so well. And I think that can be a really interesting feeling on the inside when. And I go back, I think we spoke about it before. It's like if I had a broken leg, it's like, well, you can't walk up the hill because you've got a broken leg. Whereas because on the outside, you don't look like, it's a really hard sell to be like, oh, I'm actually really struggling.
Yeah. And I feel like then
I'm just existing. That killed me.
That is brutal. And I feel like there probably is, it probably leads to letting things go on longer than what you should, because it's not a broken leg on the outside. So your brain's like, oh, okay, well, like everyone's happy around me because I'm doing so well and I'm getting a good job, like, or whatever. Yeah. So, okay, no, this is good enough.
Yeah.
This is good enough.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I don't want you just existing is like a massive, like, hit to reality.
Yeah.
And like we're both pretty self-aware people.
Yeah.
But I think
my goal originally for getting myself in check, and it's really making me start to rethink it, because originally my goal was to be more palatable for people, to not make people's life so hard, for my kids not to feel a weird way because they see their mum in bed all the time. Yeah. It wasn't actually for whatever reason. It was just to make it more palatable for people. And so, the idea of coming off this medication or potentially adding a new medication in, I can literally feel like, but you've been so good. you've been so good. Like what, like, why would you upset the apple cart?
Yeah.
And it's a really hard one because you can't even like describe it to people what it's like.
Mm.
I find it really hard. I'm like, I don't know. I just know that I don't feel right.
Yeah.
And if I don't feel right, I feel wrong.
Yes. I feel like that like it could be a hard to describe, yes, but like could be a way to describe it, could be like a visual way of like a checklist of things. So like, you know, saying like it breaks my heart actually to hear you say that like the biggest thing was to be more palatable for people and make other people's lives easier. But I get it because like, you know, you're empathetic. So you're aware of how like it was affecting other people's lives. So I understand why like that was high up on your list. But now it's like, okay, I've done that. You've done that. If like, no matter if people agree with that being on your list or not, you did it. Because like, you know, you're doing those things.
Yeah.
But that potentially isn't a place to stop.
Yeah.
Because other people's happiness is great, but your own and your internal like feelings.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now like we did it. We did the first one. Fuck yeah, tick.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Now
and so it's like,
the second one.
Good enough? No. You have to keep, and I think that that's exciting in a way as well, because it's like, okay, so it's going to get better.
I think it's like super exciting.
Yeah.
Scary because, you know, triggering.
Yeah.
Because like the, you know, medication can have a effect. And the problem, I suppose, is you've got evidence in there that a change in medication can be hard.
Yeah.
So like, you know, keeping your brain in check of like the evidence, like, yeah, okay, there's evidence there, but it doesn't have to be the same way this time. And we're going to be more aware of it. We're going to be, you know, not excessive symptom checking, but like, you know, it may like since the podcast and we're being really open with like what's happening, your support network around this might be different.
Yeah.
Might be more specific to like what you need. So that, you know, yes, you've got evidence that in the past changing medication has meant like hide the fucking scissors.
Yeah.
But the next time it's like going to be different, you know.
You're like, oh, I'm just cutting my fringe.
But like, you know, so like all of these kind of things have set you up potentially for a whole different experience of this.
Yeah.
And it is exciting.
I think it is too. And I think it's that kind of, it's an interesting journey to be on when you, before your diagnosis, you think once I get my diagnosis, that's the answer.
Yeah.
That is going to be the answer to all of my problems. And it's not that it creates more problems, but it just creates a new world that you have to navigate. And I don't think that that's a negative thing, you know, like it's the same with, I guess, people, I want to go to the gym to feel better. It's like, okay, well, we need to reevaluate, you know, it's like meal prepping, but with meds. I need more protein.
Right. I feel like even people that haven't had diagnoses or, you know, might have a normal fucking typical brain, they would experience this because like people get stuck in places, you know, whether it be in their own head, in their physical place, whatever it is, people do get stuck. And I do believe like it's never ending growth.
Yeah.
And the pursuit of happiness. Yeah. And the problem is like just because it makes you happy now or just because it's working now or just because the medication is good at the start doesn't mean that that's it.
Yeah.
Just because you're happy in this situation or this job or this friendship or whatever it is, things fucking change.
Yeah.
And either you get stuck, resentful, negative, not yourself, and you stay there. Yeah. Or you go, fuck this. Like life is, we live one life, hopefully more, but like one, and then like we just have to fucking keep going. Yeah. And that is shit, but also awesome.
Yeah. And I think it's a really nice way to be like, I get to do that. You know, I think that there's a lot of things to be grateful for when you've got a good support network. So obviously I've got a great family support network and friendships support network. And then I also have a really great medical support network as well. Like, I don't know what I would do without my GP. Like, he really gets it. And so, you know, it's not just like we've gone, I've been like, had my meds up, had my meds down, had my meds up again, had my meds down again. And then we've put them back up again. He's like, do you know what? I think it's time that we go back to the psychiatrist because he might have another way of dealing with this now that we're on top of that. Maybe there's something else we need to do. Just because it's working doesn't mean it's working great.
Yeah. I feel like it's a really good, like we should have a post-it note that says it's a privilege to keep going.
Yeah, it is.
Because so many people get stuck.
Yeah.
So many people get stuck. We've all been stuck at one point.
Yeah.
So many people get stuck there forever.
Yeah.
And then they wake up and they're like fucking, I was going to say 40. That ain't old anymore.
But, you know, I think that, and obviously I'm like looking at it in a mental health perspective, but, you know, like I've watched you unstuck yourself from big parts of your life, you know, and I feel like before that, potentially there might have been thoughts in your head be like, God, this is it. And imagine, you know, and look what was on the other side of that. You got a fucking name on a fucking MHTR t-shirt. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like that sort of, you know, and I think that watching you have a separation in your life with children and finding love and finding, you know, like that stuff I've got ticked. Like that's great. Like that just bubbles on in the background. But, you know, like watching you come through that and putting yourself first in a really hard way and not sticking there has given me a lot of inspiration to be like, look what could be around the corner if you just keep moving.
I feel like
just keep moving.
The possibilities far outweigh the fear of like should outweigh could like the fear of being stuck, like even if something doesn't work, even if like it, you know, I put it like putting it out there. I don't know if you're stuck in there and like no matter what you do, it's going to be a positive. Even if like, I don't want to say wrong or right, but like you're moving in a direction. Yeah. You have to keep moving. I think that is probably what I'm thinking most. Like when you stay still in anything in life, it's not a good thing. Yeah. But keep moving. Amazing.
Yeah. Not getting stagnant.
Yeah.
And I think that if you hang out there too long, you do reside just like, well, this is it.
It doesn't have to be it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like we're in control of that, which is fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like why does it have to be us?
Well, I think it's interesting. Like obviously this is steering away from the question a little bit, but like it was interesting because my GP said to me like, do you think maybe you need to go back to the psychologist? So not the psychiatrist, the psychologist. And I'm like, look, I don't think I get anything from it. And I'm like, I'm not saying that I know everything and I'm not saying that I, you know, am better than them. That's not what it is. But I'm like, I don't get anything from it. I honestly don't. There's not been like, yes, there's been like, oh, it's an interesting kind of thought or, you know, whatever. But like talk therapy for me isn't, I feel like my mental health is chemical.
Yes.
My mental health is chemical. And I think that psychology for me personally, where I am at now and have been for the last few years, it actually makes me feel worse.
Yeah. But I feel like you've done it as well. Like, you know, probably held a place of whatever and it was there and, you know, it's not like you've tried it one session and been like, oh no, fuck that. Yeah. Like I feel like you've, you know.
Yeah, I feel like
given it a good crack.
I've given it a good crack. And I think that, you know, like talk therapy for me, I have that.
Yeah.
Like I have talk therapy every day. I have talk therapy with you. I have talk therapy with Ash. Like, and really, yes, obviously they have like qualifications, but like I can have my husband tell me to talk nicer to myself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But
I don't need
also
to pay
we don't
$200 or $350 for someone to be like, have you ever thought about just talking to yourself nicely?
But I feel like we don't have our our
Yeah.
brain structure doesn't have the capacity to just implement that.
No.
Whereas so many people do. And I
Yes.
love that for them.
Same.
Like, God, imagine like going to a therapist and them giving them a practical suggestion and them practically implementing that suggestion.
Yeah, I love that.
Fuck yeah.
I love that.
I don't have that.
My brain does not cope well with it because the only thing, actually, I did get something from therapy last time we were there. It doesn't stop it, and it doesn't change it really, but it's something that takes me out of my brain for a minute. Is my psychologist said to me, I want you to think of your negative thoughts as someone knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, if you don't answer the door, they just keep knocking because they know you're home. So they'll just keep knocking and knocking and knocking and knocking. Whereas if you answer the door and say, oh, no, thank you, and close the door, and then you knock again, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I said no, thank you, like, bye. And so it's kind of like acknowledging, saying no thanks, and then you leave. It's going to stop them knocking on the door.
Or also realizing that they're the problem.
Yes.
Like,
And
you've said no.
Yeah,
like,
I've said no, stop it.
Yeah.
And I think that in a way helped me. But also it's more about, it doesn't stop it. It doesn't make it any quieter. It's given me another job to do. But it takes me out and makes me think of my two brains. And that's the one thing that has helped me with that. But it took us like 5 sessions to get there, and it was like $300 per session. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if ChatGPT could have just told me to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, talk therapy is definitely not for me at the moment.
I feel like it's really tricky because like
This is why I just come here and do this with you for 4 hours.
I want it to be revolutionary.
Yes.
And that is a me problem because my expectations are too high, I think, because I want it to be groundbreaking or like this or that. And it's like, I think because we're quite self-aware, if we weren't at that place, then potentially it would be, and it would be incredible. And I'd love that. I'd love that. But like, I get frustrated because it isn't groundbreaking enough. Like I just want more and more. And I'm the problem.
Yeah. I think the best therapies I've ever had is something that's a bit more like, like hypnotherapy, CBT therapy. I used to go and see this lady, Jo, and it was called Kandala energetic work. She didn't even touch me. She didn't talk to me. She didn't do anything, but she would move something around in my body. I don't know what it was, but like that was incredible. Aruka healing, like she changed my life. And like probably need to go back to her, to be honest. But I went to her in a really deep, dark place because I was convinced that I was having a daughter, and I was so scared to have a daughter because I was so scared she was going to be like me and she was going to be hurt and she was going to be, all of these things. And we went and do you know what I like? I like things that are instant. Aruka was instant. Hypnotherapy was instant. CBT is instant. Do you know what I mean? Like I like things that you can see working straight away. Potentially if I go to, a psychology session every week, then, maybe in 3 years' time I'd be like, oh, that actually did work. But yeah, I like things that are measurable.
I feel like you hit the nail on the head there with like, we do unofficial talk therapy regularly. And like, yes, we're not fucking professionals and it's like the blind leading the blind probably, but some people don't have that.
But I think also, and I'm going to use people might not know this, but I'm also going to use a bit of I was a hairdresser. When I go and get my hair done, I'm so happy with my hair, but I know how they're doing it. And so it's not revolutionary to me because I'm like, not I could have done that, but I'm just like, yes, you
understand the process.
I understand the process. Yeah. I've also done my hypnotherapy and counselling. Like I've done that.
Yes.
I went back to school and I became a hypnotherapist. I worked at a clinic. I did counselling. You are doing your counselling degree?
Diploma. Yeah.
Like you're doing your counseling diploma. So it's not revolutionary stuff because we've learnt it, we've been in it, we've done therapy, but also like we've done the learnings. Like we understand the learnings. So maybe, okay, hang on. Maybe the reason we feel like it's not revolutionary is because we already know it to a certain extent and we're already doing that with ourselves.
Yes. And maybe when we're in there doing it, we're more focused on like
How they're doing it
rather than them working on us.
Yeah.
Like it's more about the like process of it and understanding, or it's more like ticking the box like, oh yeah, like that's really interesting. I could use, not that I could use that in this or whatever, but it's more about, I feel like we've separated ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we're not going in there with our.
Also, I'd feel really bad if they knew they didn't fix me. So a lot of the time I'm like, and I've said this to psychologists, like I will do anything, like as soon as I'm done, I know exactly what to say to you to make you be like, tick of health. Amazing. And I've told people that, like I've told psychologists that, like I'll go in and be like, you'll see, I'll tell you that I'm fine and I'm not. I will tell
But then
you
they
that
still believe you.
But then I'm like, I'm really convincing. I was like, I need you to be like, well, you know, and then it was when I was pregnant with Bonnie before I went and saw Jess and I went and saw her and it was all, you know, and it was interesting because she was like, oh, you know, maybe let's talk about your childhood. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about my childhood. Like I want to talk about what feelings I have now because I understand what happened in, you know, like I get that. I've spoken about it too much. I don't need to do that. And it just sort of kept going and it was like, oh, let's talk about your mum. I'm like, don't want to talk about my mum. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's got nothing to do with her. Don't ask me to talk about my, you know what I mean? Like it's frustrating. And then, so we had like a few sessions and then I had another session with her. So it was the 4th session and she called me Jess.
Oh, done.
Yeah. And we sat there and I sat down and she goes, how are you, Jess?
Oh, no.
And I looked at her and went, I'm fine, thanks. And then she said her little bits and I'm like, it has been so good. Like, oh my God. And I remembered everything that she said and I made her feel like the best psychologist ever. I made her feel
well done.
Like she had really done her best work. And then I'm like, you know, I think that probably, you know, I probably am all right. I feel like maybe I'll book in maybe just like a touch-up session in like maybe 6 months, just like a touch base. And she's like, oh, that sounds great. And I literally left and I'm like, I told you I would do this. I told you I would do this.
Yes. And I feel like the other kind of therapies that you've mentioned are not like predictable.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like even, not that we're saying we're like fucking amazing, we're not psychologists, we're not this, but because we have dabbled in that field, it becomes predictable.
Yeah.
And so it the predictability outweighs the benefit.
Yeah.
Whereas I love seeing people that go to talk therapy for the first time and like the fucking change, or like because their brains aren't wired. We are obviously, both you've trained, I am training in therapy. We have a natural understanding and love for it, and we love talking and this, so we're naturally in tune with it. I feel like the people that have such incredible responses to talk therapy, it doesn't come naturally for them.
Yeah.
They're not into therapy. They're not, you know, into educating themselves about how to be a therapist. They're not, and incredible.
Yeah.
You obviously need different types of therapy that isn't predictable, that you don't know everything, not everything. I'm cautious about saying that because I'm not saying like we're fucking know-it-alls, but you don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You can't predict what's going to happen. You get a quicker response from it.
Yeah.
And, you know, if we didn't have that like understanding of like how therapy works, maybe we would have a quicker response to talk therapy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take 5 sessions to get a snippet of something good.
Yeah.
That maybe we hadn't thought of before. Our brain is telling us like it isn't new information or whatever. So yeah, really interesting.
It's a really interesting kind of thing. And maybe it's a little bit like, maybe therapy is a little bit like, you know, when you start taking your medication, you start taking 5 milligrams, but then your body gets used to it and all of a sudden it needs 10 milligrams. And then you, like, what's that called? When your body, like, it's your...
Like you get a tolerance.
Yeah, like a tolerance. Maybe I've gotten to a stage where my talk therapy tolerance is just not enough anymore. I even asked, I don't know whether like this is a whole new conversation. I don't know how long we've got, but we need to stop. But like I even said to Dr. Nick, I'm like, what do you think about like, I'm like what's the next road? Like, do I need like shock therapy? And he was like, Steph. Like he looks at me, I'm like, I'll try anything. I took my uterus out for this. Like, what's a bit of shock therapy? I've had an organ removed.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd love to. I haven't like personally looked into like how it's done, the effects, all that kind of stuff. But like, I'd be interested. 2 for 1.
Do you know what? We could just go back to the hospital. I reckon they'd let us in. We could just do it ourselves.
I love so much about that reel. Like us talking is like, oh my God, like I feel like we could have just gone back there ourselves and been like,
I love that. So
thanks for sharing that. I feel like sharing that is a good step.
I think that one of my biggest things for this, and I feel like when we do episodes like this, I feel there is something in my brain being like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I can see your hands like fidgeting.
Yeah. It's like, just stop. But like, I just know and I don't know, like if we have 5 listeners, right? And one of them is like, that's how my brain feels. Like it's really lonely. It's a really lonely feeling, especially when people say you're doing so well and you'll go,
it's heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really, and you don't want to annoy people. You don't want to upset people. You don't want to be like, oh, actually, I'm fucking bad, you know? But so you say thank you.
Yeah. And the opposite of that is you sit in it.
Yeah.
And you
sit in it
convince
alone,
yourself
but you
that,
sit in it alone because it's relentless. And, you know, like, thank you for being, you know, I'm very lucky that I have a couple of people that I can, you know, be pretty open with, but like it can be really lonely. And if there's like one person that ever listens to this, like, oh, you look like you've got it together. You've brushed your hair today. You know, your style's back, your hair's done. Like she must have like, you know, it's okay if it's not like you're not the only person that's brain is really mean.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I think that was the whole reason for this is you know, for the podcast at its bones was for me to be able to just maybe find someone like me and be like, same.
I feel like one of the overall like overarching goals and like reasons why and values of the podcast is because we know how lonely it is in a world full of fucking people, in a world where you see people all the time and whatever, and you might have friends here and there and like a great relationship or whatever, but like we know the feeling of the loneliness that can happen, and we know that connection is fucking everything, and it's really hard to do, and you might not want to put yourself out there or be the type of person to just, you know, build a really solid face-to-face person connection with somebody and whatever, but if potentially us talking about the vulnerabilities of like ourselves or our brains or different topics and how it affects people and positive and negative, if that's your form of connection, like fuck yeah.
Well, I think like to search for the brain that I'm talking about, I'll never know that they've heard it because they'll never say anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess that's why like it'd be so nice for this to like reach more people, not for our personal gain or like, you know what I mean? Like, but to know that there's a potential for that to like reach more brains and never know about it. Yeah. The never knowing about it actually is kind of cool. Like, it's amazing. God, like Steph's looking at me and I can see her eyes and like mine are going too. Oh my God, I feel like she's 3 for 3. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go and like cry in the corner.
right? So we'll just leave you with that one.
I think we did have a bit of an action for this one because this was quite specific for, say, medication and, you know, maybe around diagnosis for us. But when you think about this topic and it is why do we settle for good enough, it can really like relate to everything, and everyone deserves like to be happy and live their best life and not get stuck in shit that doesn't serve us or is not going to like make us feel good. And you know, that's not okay. So I think a really important thing is to fucking schedule it in the diary or something, and just a check in with yourself, check in with your surroundings, check in with your home. Maybe it's just your home. Like maybe it's your home that like, you know, I really need a fucking change up here. Like it's making me get the ick or not giving me the feels. Check in with your relationships, your friends, your intimate partners, your socials from last week. Like, and it's fucking hard because it comes back to we have to do it.
Yeah.
Put it in the diary though.
But we deserve
reoccurring
it.
chart.
I think that's the thing is you, take Amy as a really good example of what happens after you feel like you're stuck in something. Like you'll be playing at fucking MHGR and your name will be on a t-shirt.
You also could be the last name on a t-shirt of a DJ lineup. No, but like, do you know what the possibility of what could be on the other side is well worth the risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave that. Hopefully you're not crying. Bye, guys.